Okay. So, a lot of people have told me they would love to do shrooms with me or an acid trip. And I refuse to do anything like that because everything I've ever heard from these enlightened people who've gone through ayahuasca and mushrooms and LSD and all that is all the same pattern, because I study patterns, and really, really boring and really false enlightenment. It just strikes me as really awful. And it's boring compared to me. Like, all I need is a few drinks, and I'm probably like on shrooms when I'm sober. And a lot of people think I'm really dumb. I've never gotten my IQ tested, but it's probably really high, and it's been knocked down through a lot of trauma and formaldehyde poisoning. But one of the things I was thinking about, because I am very surreal all the time. Like, sometimes I'm like, lately, I'm not sure if I'm dead or if the world is dead and I'm walking around in a ghost town. I'm often not sure lately, ever since COVID. I kind of knew this before when I was younger. I had an experience where I had to kind of decide that I was going to live in the land of the dead. So, right in 2020, when I had actually been preparing for COVID since about 2008, I started having some dreams and things showing me stuff, and I knew something big was coming. And it took so long and nothing happened that when it did, I was like, ah, shit. Because I was like, damn, I thought I was going to miss it. I thought these dreams were maybe something else. But I had a surreal day at the beginning of 2020, and I knew something very big was going to be unleashed. It was big, and it was beyond demonic. It was something I'd never felt before. It was very anti-human, and it was so evil, it was actually beyond evil, like beyond normal malignant or evil feelings. I can't really explain it other than the word egregore kind of gives me the feeling of it's like a feeling from that word. But I remember in early January, I was looking at switching jobs, and I went up one Saturday. It was like, I want to say it was like January 6th. It was a Saturday. And I was going to go work up at Big Sky. And I went over to my former employer to do a tour and look at the routes up at Big Sky that I might take. So we get on the bus with this lady. She's from Philadelphia. And go up to Big Sky, drive around and look at that. And on the way up to Big Sky, up the canyon, there was this woman. She looked like a nurse. I call it, you look like a nurse when you're off duty and you have that really, really tight beanie on. And she was doing a little investigation, this woman who lived in Gateway. And you could tell she was a transplant. And this woman had a notebook, and she was like, yeah, I'm doing a little community investigation of my own about traffic and stuff on the canyon, because she's like, it is getting really insane and busy in Gateway, and me and my neighbors are wondering what's going on up here. And I told her, since I wasn't driving, I could talk to her, and I was like, well, it's the Yellowstone Club and all these rich resort people, and I said they really, really rely on a lot of illegals and just barely above slave status labor, and they have to transport tons and tons of them up and down the canyon every day, and then all these employees and construction workers. And I was like, it's definitely gotten very, very dangerous going up and down the canyon, and I was like, it's a lot of illegals and people who never get the day off. And while I'm talking and telling her about this, I look back and there are several, like the bus was full. We were like the only white people. The bus is full of these migrant workers. Some of them have like what you call quotation mark, quotation student work. They're temporary migrant workers. They're slaves. And they don't have any rights. And they were all listening to me talking about the whole illegal trafficking and stuff. And I looked at one of them and I said, am I right? And he nodded his head. I said, they're bringing these people up. And I told her, I said, they have no rights. They like to keep them up here. And they don't want them to speak English. And they don't want people like you knowing about them and finding out what's going on up here and how we're treating people, and that we're importing slaves for these ultra the billionaires of the world. And she was shocked. She was upset that we're trafficking a lot of people, and you can't see it. You don't see it. You have to work pretty specialized jobs. It's really, really, really wrong to be bringing in these illegals. We should not be bringing them in, because what's going on is slavery. And all these people claiming we can't build houses, we won't have anyone to clean our toilets or pick our fruits and vegetables. You know what? Go F yourself, you greedy, selfish, nouveau plantation. Stop with it. We're going to make these people hate us. Hate us. Anyway, so I'm telling her all about this. We're going up this canyon and spent a few hours up Big Sky driving around and looking at the route. And we come back down the canyon, and it was probably like 1 p.m. or something. We're coming down the canyon. And as we're coming down the canyon, I couldn't see it. It's one of those things where you have a vision, but you don't see anything, you feel it. And I suddenly got this really bad feeling as we were coming down the canyon. I looked behind me out of the bus up at the mountains looming over. And I was like, oh shit, what is it? Like, what is it? Something is chained up there. It's not human. It was like a giant, I could just feel it. I was like, it's a giant demon. But it's beyond demons. It's almost, it's not human. It's something so big and new, and it's chained up there, and they're gonna let this thing loose. And I was like, what is it? I just got this really bad feeling. Like there was an actual giant new monster of some sort chained up there. And they were going to let this thing loose. All these really rich people. And I was like, oh boy, something is coming very soon, and it's waiting to be let loose on us. And this was the very first week of January 2020. So I get home after this long day going up and down the canyon and looking at this and a little stressed out about quitting my old job and switching to this new one. And I didn't want to tell him. So I go home and I suddenly get this strange urge to clean my bathroom with bleach, which I never use bleach because I am so allergic to it. It makes me get sick for 3 days. I cough, I get a fever, I get mentally ill, like really depressed. I mean, I get sick physically and mentally from bleach. And when I use it, I use like a couple drops, like say there's a little bit of mold in the caulk or something, I would do that. But I don't use bleach at all. And I didn't use bleach then either because I had a septic. But for some reason, I got this strange urge to clean with bleach. So that night, I go in and I just gut the bathroom out and I clean it with effing bleach. And I had that tub, it was just glowing. It was so shiny. The tiles, everything was so clean and shiny. And suddenly, I'm overcome. Like it was spiritual. After I used the bleach, I had to go to bed for a couple hours. And I was having really bad dreams and I had a fever and it was awful. And I ran back down into the bathroom and I puked. I just was vomiting my guts out. And it was like I had a vision there. So I'm just hovering over the toilet, vomiting, and I don't dare leave because it just won't quit. And I'm regretting this bleach, and I hear like a voice. I look over at my beautiful, shiny pier tub, and I can hear this voice saying, Rosa, you've committed a great sin. The objective is not to be sterile, but to be clean. And when you kill every single little impurity and life form, you are also killing all the good, trying to kill the evil. And when you purify so much that you kill off even all the good cannot reproduce and cannot come back. And this voice told me that it's a great, great sin to attempt sterility and get rid of all the good with the bad. And it told me it is better to clean. You clean. It is better to clean and leave some dirt and some bad germs. You can't see them, but these little colonies of bad germs. It's better to clean and get rid of most of the bad germs, but not all of them, and be cleaner, but not sterile. And I just sat there listening and contemplating this and imagining in my mind like these little colonies of germs and feeling like guilt, like I was a murderer for having eradicated all the good little germs too that fight off the bad ones. This purity thing. And I was like, what the hell did I do? What did I do? And I realized, I said, something weird's going on, and this is a lesson. And I said, something serious is coming, and it's going to try and sterilize and kill all the good things to get rid of the bad ones. And it won't be clean, it will be sterile. There's a difference in being clean and sterile. And this whole experience in that day, and the vomiting and the whole bleach thing, I decided something big was coming and not to quit my job and switch to the other one, because I felt really bad, like something evil was coming out of Big Sky. I always knew that, but I was like, whatever is coming from the ultra wealthy, and it's coming from Big Sky. It's got something to do with these eugenics and stuff that a lot of these people are into. Like Bill Gates, he's always up there. And I was like, I'm not going to work up there with the slave labor and with whatever this monster is that's coming soon. So I kept and held steady at my old job. And I was right. That monster was unleashed. And I didn't have to do mushrooms or ayahuasca. I don't need any enlightenment. I mean, I can look into the dark a lot better than most people. I get really depressed. And people think I'm really stupid and insane. And it's like a Cassandra syndrome. They won't listen to me. But do you think I care? I'm not imposing what I think on others, or what I know, or what I don't know. But my last word, remember, sterility and cleanliness are not equal. It is better to clean than to sterilize. Do not think it's right to get rid of all evil, because when you do, you get rid of all good. Come on, people. Get a little bit stronger. What the hell is grace for? What is it for?